Hello, everyone, and welcome to ZSR4. Today we've got another Link to the Past No Matrix, which is like Season 3 match here. We're in the Eastern Hills Division, Round 2, between secretlyasliver versus RadicalSniper99. I'm Star, and our two comps tonight are Kaysen and Flipfield. Take it away.
Start us off, Kaysen.
How you doing tonight?
I'm doing very well.
Looking forward to watching a couple of good runners.
Yes, I know both of these runners pretty well, so looking forward to watching some really good NMG and laughing and being upset over anything bad that may occur here.
You know, I'm just hoping Jesse learned something watching me last night and does not walk away without the princess.
Yeah, I was totally going to mention how Jesse has been, asking you for a lot of help recently to learn rooms, but you guys might have skipped the escape sequence.
Yeah, everyone knows how to do escape, right?
Coincidentally enough, Sean asked me for some help here and there, but we left out the pod segment for no reason at all. But yeah, it looks like these runners are about to get underway.
Yeah, should be starting here any second. Got a riveting intro of tech smashing.
Yep, and you get bonus points if you hold the A button for the first line of text.
We need them to both be on emulators with on-screen buttons so we can see that happening. Otherwise, I don't know how we can award those bonus points.
Yeah, Sean actually just recently, finally, it was a slow process, but he got every single piece to play on original console and a CRT.
That's the one thing I can't see myself ever doing is going to a CRT. I just don't have the space for it.
Those things are huge. Props to anyone who has. Sean alerted me before this race that he was going to pump his heart out. And maybe he didn't use the word heart, or maybe he didn't say anything of that at all.
So far, we just seem to be pretty much frame for frame in lockstep.
Yeah, these first couple rooms you probably won't see too much of a divergence. Probably the first real room that you might see a little bit of leeway is Marangart. Some cool ways where you can save a couple frames.
Yeah.
And then obviously the big raid boss that is known as Ball and Chain Guard.
So I did look up before this started PBs for both runners. Looks like I know Sean just recently got a 128.58, and Jesse's latest PB was a 129.47, I believe, from looking at his timer, which actually doesn't match Speedruns. I don't know if we ever even submitted that one. But I also know Jesse's times lately have been on pace for a 128 run. It's just a matter of finishing it out. So you never know. We might be able to see a PB here tonight from either or both.
Yeah, that'll be pretty exciting. Sean has also been recently, I believe he had one or two runs that was minus 20 or so, dropping it to Ganon, going for some new strats. So it should be relatively close.
That's always good too. I know he's been going on a tear and just improving at a really, really quick pace. And hey, they both rescued the princess, so that's a good start.
They both went for single or 8 slash, I believe, and also took a heart of damage. But yeah, they're still perfectly in sync, which is pretty nice, which means they might have relatively close end escapes, although I feel the second half of escape is a lot tougher. Not like tougher per se, but
it's tougher RNG wise because there's a lot more you have to read. At least that's how I feel when I'm running. There's a lot more chances you got to read a rat or get a Seattle rat.
yeah, hopefully
A lot more to react to.
Hopefully we won't see any Seattle rats today. Those you either have to do some really toxic strats to negate most of your time loss, or just suck it up and
Accept it.
Second.
You know, if you're in a race, you don't really have the choice of saying screw it and resetting. So.
Both of them taking hits in the snake. Oh, Jesse has to be really careful. He's down to half a heart. But on the plus side, if he makes it all the way to the end, he will
save about a second.
Yeah, because there's 2 ways you can gain time at the end. If you have only 1 heart of text, when you mash through the text box at the end, you get they just go by faster. Something to do with less heart you have. And there's also the rat slash. Free despawn shield. And here we have coming up my least favorite room in this segment.
Yeah, this room's never fun. It's even less fun when you're on half a heart.
So yeah, you'll probably see it here. Sean was the first to get to the door, but they might actually be pretty even getting through these text boxes. So now we'll be entering the Eastern Palace segment, also known as the second half of Agony. And by that we mean we don't have the best item in the game.
Yeah, once we beat Eastern, we can start playing the game. Start dashing everywhere.
And what you'll see them doing here is you can actually save a lot of time by double pumping. Usually, if you're not going to pump through the most of the game, you should at least pump in sections like that where you have 1 tile of movement.
Yeah, any staircase, manual staircase, you can save a good bit of time.
So coming up soon, we have one of the first rooms. Well, we totally blanked on the Stalfos room. It was a pretty fun room, but the Eastern Palace damage boost is you'll see them hit the anti-fairies here, and you can save a lot of time versus killing the enemies. And depending on how clean you do it, you can actually save or lose a lot of time in this room. Sean got
clean on Sean's side. Both sides, both got it clean.
Both getting deboosted to the left, but no.
Yeah,
no
ideally
major.
you want to get deboosted pretty much right to the stairs, right?
Yep. And then you can even actually mash the A button to try to grab some of these chests since you don't have the boot yet. But I can never get it to actually save any time, so I just kind of
walk up and press it.
Fortunately, the anti-fairies kissed on Sean's side, and they also kissed on Jesse's side. It's a cool. You can see how fast you're going. It's done.
I never thought to look at that as a timing thing.
Oh, Zelda Speedruns 3. We're just in time for the Armos quick kill. Fights on both sides.
Neither of them even got the extra arrow stuck in the wall. Seems to be a staple of my runs.
So now that we have the best item in the game, boots, we will be able to do what I think is the worst glitch in the game, spin speed, which you'll see Sean do it here. If you spin and then press A, the frame after your sword releases, you get put into a state where if you walk off the stairs, you can move very fast at dash.
Very fast, just like that. And everybody's favorite bridge.
And I don't know how many Jesse will do, but Sean is a huge spin speed abyss, so you'll see him go for pretty much everyone.
Go for unholy.
Unholy. You might even do
I know Jesse doesn't do the unholy one.
The only one I don't think he does is the infamous Ice Rod Cave spin speed.
Well, there goes Sean proving you wrong and not doing unholy.
Wow. Make a liar out of me, Sean. Better at least go for
He
desert.
probably just specifically wanted to make you a liar. The spin speed coming out is a lot more valuable, I feel.
Sean unfortunately trying to dash a little bit early. Jesse not getting frame ruled there. A nice little trick you'll see a lot of people do is they actually hold upright. Right? Yeah, upright on that screen.
Upright. Just as you transition up a pixel or two, and it makes it a lot more consistent.
And coming up on the Desert Palace, the last overworld screen, we can see how blind each runner is, depending on how far away they are when they read the tablet. See, it looks like Jesse's vision is a little bit worse than Sean's, but not by much.
I mean, he is off to the side though, so the angular distance might be a little more.
And then Desert is the first dungeon, obviously, where we get our boots to use in a dungeon, and I believe the developers put it in as a way to get used to all the comfy dash lines you can do.
Right before they start putting everything in your way.
Everyone's favorite room, the cannonball room. Oh, again, the bad RNG getting hit. Jesse with the clean dash. And then you'll see they actually pick up a lot of these pots because there's a lot of nice pots for grabs to get extra arrows. Arrows are very important for a fight coming up.
That is such a scary spin speed to go for.
See? Told you. There's a lot of different areas or times when people look at their timers to like see how they're doing in a run, but this is probably the first one I definitely pay big attention to. It's when you get your search times here. Now for the best boss in the game. The name of the game is in the first phase. You hopefully want to get a minimum of 6 arrows, 2 into each one, to make the cleanup phases later better. Sean's definitely struggling a little bit here.
Yeah,
I think Jesse had a really
Jesse's
clean fight.
Gonna pass him up here just a little bit. Those are really
that
clean
3
line
cycle?
though. Yes, I think it was an early 4. I lost count, but it was quick.
And then Sean, we'd be doing the Sandman dash. And then this segment coming up is one of the major run killers. If you're not comfortable with it, this is where we will be fake flippering by transitioning to on the next screen at the same time we hit the water. Jesse gets a nice clean one.
Yep, good
You get-
clean fake flipper for Jesse. And for Sean, both getting into the whirlpool. That's kind of that's where your run can die, because if you get hit by an enemy there, the game doesn't know where to put you. You just get kind of put back wherever the game thinks you might be, and if you try and move, you will lock the game in an infinite scroll.
And Tower of Hera, also known as the Reset Tower, is probably where most of your Light World runs will die. There's just a significant way to take chip damage between dead rocks getting in your way, boulders, a couple hiccups here and there in the dungeon itself. But
they both are getting up relatively healthy, so that's a good sign. Do you know if Sean goes for any of the boom strats here?
no, Sean does pretty much standard strats.
Yeah, okay.
And then
It's gonna be the
you'll
same for
notice
Jesse.
Sean went on the right side of that portal. He was, by doing that, he's able to get a quick warp, which saves about 34 frames. It's only a little bit, but if you get them all in a run, they add up. So you see a lot of people going for them.
Yeah, each transition is about half a second, so definitely adds up.
There will be no coffee breaks today.
Dorm's playing nice for both runners.
And then coming up, we have another very hard room, Hera.
I know this is one Jesse's been working on too.
Nice. Oh yeah, look at him, he's going for the... It's a room that, to go, you can get an okay time by doing safe strats, but to get a really fast time, you got to put a lot of work in, and every time you think you have the room right, something goes wrong, you got to revisit a small thing. Kind of
just getting between the switch and that pot feels like it's almost impossible sometimes.
Yeah, I have both runners going for bomb jump. This bypasses a lot of time because normally you have to come upstairs and drop down. Sean, I know, will go for the normal bumper skip. I don't know. Jesse
started working on it. Looks like he's not going to go for it today, but he has been working on it, so I know he knows how to do it now. And that's probably why Jesse didn't go for it, is he knows what can happen, which is what happened to Sean there.
Here we have... This is another fight that, if you're not careful, you get unfortunate stuff like this where you just go all over the place. See a lot of people try to stay close to him.
That was dangerous, I feel like, being over there on the left side for Jesse, facing the way he was. But it worked out, and clean fight. Clean on both sides.
Yeah, it looks like Sean made up a little bit of time in that fight. Unfortunately on that final hit for Jesse, Lauren was just being very rude. But here we have coming up is the last segment of the Light World, also known as Agate's Tower. Now this is a segment where you'll see a lot of rando runners who are just getting into NMG. I feel this is the dungeon that you'll see the most holes in their play. There's a lot of strats and optimal movement that can save a lot of time. just usually one of the last things people kind of look at. A lot of the other dungeons you can kind of go by with your normal random knowledge. Oh, don't grab that. Or at least grab it on the way out.
Yeah. If you're going to get it, you want to get it on the way out because it can respawn, or it will respawn every time. Then you could end up grabbing it twice. And that's no fun.
So we see a mushroom from Jesse's side. I don't know if Sean's going to be mushroom. But
Jesse
Case-
mainly grabs it for menuing, but also it's a bit of a safety as a just in case.
also, Kaizen, why did they pull those trees?
Oh,
on there.
that's getting our money to get into pod after we beat Aga. A little scary there on Jesse's side. He might have lost his sword beams if he wasn't careful. But yeah, we need 110 rupees to get into the next dungeon, and the couple of tree poles we've seen along the route is the fastest way to get the money that we need. Then you only need to pick up an additional 4 rupees that aren't directly along your path.
Yeah, and as chat mentioned, Jesse was actually able to skip one. He was actively counting the amount he had and noticed that he could skip one to have the proper amount. Save a couple frames there. Oh wow, the red guard for the ball and chain with bailed him out too. That was a lot of money. Jesse getting an unfortunate poke in that first room there, so we're actually neck and neck.
You see Jesse flashed at that bat there, and that will cause the guards to aggro when you have beams. Generally, you want to dash kill it, and then the guards apparently can't hear you when you do that.
What's nice too is they deal not even a heart of damage if you
It's a quarter heart,
once.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you dash through on the first one. The second one, you can just walk through, take the hit, and keep your beams, which is kind of nice. And hey, look, we're basically back in lockstep again.
Yeah, there's a lot of the second half of this dungeon is one that probably has the most interesting strats to them, but also one of the most annoying when they go wrong, like this room. But fortunately, we didn't get any guards go to the left and have to adjust our game plan for.
Yeah, when the red guard goes up and down, or the right guard goes up and down, the room is significantly easier to handle. If he goes to the left, you gotta do some shenanigans with the boomerang to still be able to pull off a similar time in the room.
And here we have everyone's favorite part of the run. Yeah, I hope I get bright orange. Now in a race, we just kind of hope that everyone gets relatively close. There's no like landslides, like 0 versus 7 or something.
Yeah, he can give you anywhere from 0 to 15. average is going to be 3. Is that 3 already on Sean's side?
Yes.
Ooh,
We have 1 so
that's-
far for Jesse.
Two for Jesse. So Jesse got 3, and I think this is the last hit for him. Yeah.
3 to 3. You love to see it.
Got him at very different times, but worked out about the same.
I don't know about everyone else, but I actually don't like getting 0 blue balls. If you PB,
You know,
it makes
the worst
the run.
thing, exactly. You PB, and then you have to run against that.
Give
So
me
you
1,
could-
give me 2.
Yeah.
Relatively in sync. Jesse is very ahead of his PB, so hopefully he can keep up the good vibes. Sean is a little bit of ahead, about 20 seconds or so, but of his PB, but nothing he can't get past.
Those rupees you were talking about earlier, coming up right here, going to be a monkey. It's just really greedy and wants all your money.
I was a little worried about that roper there. I'm fine with that dash, but no unfortunate actions happen. So now we're gonna see these runners use the mirror a lot. Odd is a lot of going back and forth to get a key, get an item, get a key, get an item. Some nice technical stuff. Good small ways to save time.
Then you got the big one about the halfway point when you go to get your hammer.
Yeah, hammering up is one. The more you get into NMG, the more time you will spend practicing. It's 2 pixel perfect lineups, but you'll start to use. You have free menu buffers, we call them, because you can menu the mirror, the bomb, and then the mirror. And then you'll see sometimes people develop strats like slashing to try to reduce the amount of buffers you do, because every menu is a second. There's different lineups. Difference between like a 12-second hammer jump and like an 18-second one at first isn't a big deal, but then as you push down the times, you start to hate the second one. It's like both of them having a little bit of nerves here.
It's a good recovery on Sean's side after throwing the bomb the wrong way. So that can be a little stressful when something like that happens.
I wouldn't even be surprised if he grabs an extra bomb in this room, just to be safe. Nope, we're going hard.
Hoping we get a drop later on, maybe pick up the one in Thieves Town, because that one's often skipped. So I think he'll still be okay, just gonna have to keep an eye on the bomb count.
Well, I believe neither of these runners grabbed the 2 bombs, so the one in Thieves Town will be mandatory. Here we have the sexy statue room. If you ever listen to Sean's commentary, depending on how well he does, he really gets into the room. All right, got Jesse going for the dash. Sean playing a little safer, going for the walk.
What's the difference in time on that, do you know?
Frames.
Not much.
Yeah.
Green turtle room for Jesse.
Sean getting the initial. And then coming up, we have our last major hurdle before the Dark World gets a little comfy. Hopefully these runners grab sandcart so we have a little extra safety. Take 1 or 2 hits in this fight and it can go ugly. We have both runners going for the newer strat of getting a spin speed to increase our hammer hitbox.
Just heads up with Jesse, saw there was just a little hesitation there before breaking the mask to despawn the fireball. It's a good way to gain a little bit of safety, but clean fight from both runners.
Yep, both of them getting a little bit of unfortunate beginning RNG, but cleaned up the second half very nicely. So coming up, we have one of our longer segments, thanks to the overworld, which is Thieves Town. I think this is a segment starting off that a lot of people will get relatively fast. I used to kind of hate the split, but now I'm starting to kind of enjoy it. I feel like it's one where like it's deceptive. You can get overall pretty low times on it, but to get really low top times, you just got to know every little thing.
Yeah, there's a ton of little details that you can optimize along this route.
Things like Whip Warp, the Hammer Dash that we just saw, knowing how to recover from a bad Hellway pattern. There's a couple small strats here and there. So, no quick warp on Jesse's side. Sure. Not believe got it either.
Got an extra dig on Jesse's side. Looking for some extra buried treasure.
I don't know if it's actually possible on this screen due to how it works, but I would love to see someone dig by mistake and then get like an hour drop or something like that.
That would be funny.
Then we have the fastest guard in Hyrule, also known as the Same Bolt. Did not tag any of our runners today.
The most important, spin speed to actually nail, too. To be able to get by him without having to kind of deal with him blocking your way, and you either got to kill him or something. But if you don't do that spin speed, there's not a nice way to get through that screen otherwise.
Nice 3 musketeers. And we see Sean going for the quick war, but had an extra item with him, so I don't know if he actually gained any time there.
Yeah, I think if you walk and double back on it, any time save gets negated pretty quick.
And then Thieves Town, we have a dungeon that's relatively forgiving, but you get pegged by like a Zazak here, get hit by one of the crickets in the top. A lot of these things do 2 hearts of damage, so it can get rough pretty quickly. As we see Jesse, I don't even know,
Yeah.
what did Jesse get?
Just like that, losing 3 hearts. He got hit by one of the Zizaks and then bumped into the spark.
Thankfully, though, there are some hearts later on in the dungeon.
Yeah, that are pretty easy to grab.
Ooh.
Jesse had the pixel twice, and the game was just not having it.
Yeah, and then to make matters worse, he got a really unfortunate set of RNG.
Yeah, he really did.
So now he's got to be extra careful. Don't know what his arrow or his arrow prize pack is on, but he could possibly get a heart from one of these red Zazaks coming up. You just gotta make it to the blind cell, and he'll be all right.
And a couple hearts in there, the potential from the drop kill, and there's the last heart before blind if you're really in a bad situation. Nope, we were on the green rupee. It's unfortunate. Where is that heart drop?
Here we have coming up the freest hours in the game. Jesse doing a nice double slash there for timing. I think. Like I'm saying now. And then we have the blind fight coming up that a certain way. It'll do the same thing every time. So I'm told.
This fight is 100% scripted based on what you do. You do the same thing every time, he'll do the same thing every time, and he'll die real quick, just like that.
And then with all the unfortunate struggles that Jesse had in the dungeon, he actually didn't lose that much time over his PC. So he's actually still in pretty good shape as far as that's
he
concerned.
is. I want to say he has some more time save coming still as well. That's an unfortunate extra bomb for Sean. Tossing it just a bit early.
Making use of a second 50-50 there. See most people go for the one at the bottom there, but yeah, that we're synced. And now this split, this is where we get our tempered sword. I know that I recently learned that in the Master Sword percent, you're actually ahead of the NMG run until like the very end, pretty much. It doesn't actually save that much time. Just the main reason we get it is for Ganon.
Yeah. Oh, I can believe that. It is quite the sequence of events to pick this sword up, so it definitely takes a good chunk of time.
Plus, I don't even want to think about how you fight cults there or Master Sword.
Oh, I've seen some of the strats. If you know how to do them, it's real fun to watch, but it's not easy.
All right, and Sean's run is nowhere near validated, nor is Jesse's.
Nope.
All right.
Did not go for the fence stash. Did at least get the rubies. I know I've skipped that house on occasion.
And here we have, I think, as silly as it sounds, the first screen in Skullwoods in the Lost Woods is probably the hardest screen in the segment. It's trying to get an optimal time on that room is surprisingly difficult. Like, obviously everyone knows the mummy room is annoying as heck. You have to practice a ton, but that first room is...
Unfortunate Jesse wasn't able to get to those arrows. Did get through without taking damage though, so that's good.
Yeah, Sean actually took a damage on the spike, which is usually in that area. That's, you take damage in the first room, but still better to take one than two. Runners with a successful bomb. Jesse playing it a little safe there. No, never mind. It's Sean going for the best menu. Skullwoods. Now, I believe Sean has been practicing the newer mummy strat. Or the torch room. I'm not sure what to do, though. Gets the curse pot. Nicely done. Right now, we're just playing it safe today. Ooh, Sean actually getting really unlucky there.
Yeah, getting that fairy drop this early is not what you want to see. That's going to potentially have an impact later in the run.
Yeah, we will probably see him mirror out of Turtle Rock later. Ooh, almost over. Really nice fight on Sean's side. Nice fight on Jesse's side, too.
Yeah, synchronized kills.
Oh, I'm just looking, too. It looks like Sean... I don't know if that's a true gold, but on the splits he's running on, he has a gold for the Thief's Down.
Yeah, he does. It looks like it's 0.3 seconds, so it's probably right on, more or less right on par with his previous gold. Not a huge time save, but gold is a gold nonetheless.
All right, so now we have Ice Palace. Another segment that is kind of tough to go fast on.
I'd say one of the harder segments is coming up here before Ice Palace is just getting through Zora's domain to get our flippers.
Yeah, one of the main things you want to do is make sure you don't take any damage. You'll see a lot of people try to have sword beams for Mire, but it's actually surprisingly important for Ice Palace. There's a lot of rooms where it saves a couple seconds.
Especially the second room, I guess, is where you really want them, because that room without it can be a little bit of a time sink. And hopefully neither of our runners are going to be going for any extra dunks in the lake here.
Now, I'm curious to see if Sean might try to kill one of these Zoras coming up if he gets them in a fortunate location. Because they do have a 100% bomb drop rate. Maybe on the screen before the world. Otherwise, you have to play Ice Palace very carefully.
Yeah, there is an extra bomb in the bombable floor room, but that's not one you ever really want to go for because it's kind of a pain. Other option would be grabbing one from the Stalfos Knights. So there are ways to get bombs still.
There's a really cool strat too, where you can actually fire rod the torch switch and walk past it as the fire rod animation is going off.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah, see here, we're killing him. Nice.
Very nice of the Zora to spawn right there.
And the story of this run, our runners synced up time and time again. Very exciting.
This has been a really good race.
Have the bombable floor. See Sean using 2 bombs to speed up this room slightly. And then here you'll see these runners make good use of the sword moves that we kept up until this point. Have Ice Palace bomb jump. I wouldn't. Probably one of the other required glitches in this speed run.
Yeah. Yeah, if you don't do this, you gotta do a whole bunch of nonsense in this dungeon. Doubling back and loops, and it's... I don't know what was going through their heads when they designed this vanilla dungeon, because it's a pain.
They clearly want you to go to Misery Mire and then come back. Even though this is Dungeon 5. And coming up, we have Cold Stare. This boss is very satisfying to kill if you know the quick kill, but can also be very frustrating because there's a lot of moving parts to this fight, and one small mistake, and it'll turn into a puff party. Hopefully we don't get any of those today.
Ooh, we got an unfortunate death on Jesse's side. It's able to get a magic, so we can at least go back into the dungeon. But that's about the worst spot you can die in this entire run.
Yeah, very unfortunate too. A backup strat, which you saw him do, is kill the pickle. Usually if you don't kill any other pickles, you get a full magic from that. I believe now he's going to have to rely on Pengator drops for a full magic.
Yeah, he's gonna have to pick one up from a Pengator.
But yeah, you hate to see this. This was such a close race on PB pace. Another nice thing, at least for the revisit, is even though you're low on bombs, since
You're gonna get a 4-drop here.
Yeah, you're guaranteed. But now, on Sean's side, we're seeing the, well, I'm gonna say optimal chopping, but there's really no optimal chopping. It's just you at some point you need to grab the ether. At some point you need to grab the ice rod. Actually, no. How does Sean do this? I think he just gets ether. I forget.
It could be either. 832 with ether and ice rod it's possible. It was either 832 or 842. I can't quite read his splits. And there's the full magic for Jesse, so he'll be good to finish the dungeon now. Biggest problem with grabbing ice rod here, as you saw for Sean, is it's an absolutely terrible menu to try and navigate.
Very nice refight for Jesse. back on track. As Sean is draining the dam to enter Swamp Palace. Grab the hook shot. Swamp Palace, I enjoy this dungeon. I know a lot of people have mixed feelings about this dungeon, but it's the kind of dungeon where you learn it, everything feels great, and then you kind of maybe neglect it for a little bit, and then things start to feel sluggish, but it's a surprisingly kind of technical dungeon. There's a lot of small things here and there.
It's all small things. It's a bunch of little bits of damage, a bunch of real small movement things, and it's just, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I could see where you would be too.
The real challenge is getting up to the back half with sword beams. It's so easy to go from full health to like needing safety pots before Argus. Looks like Sean's going for the hammer dash. It's a fun little strat for that room.
There's a lot of spots in this dungeon that you can put a hammer dash to use.
Sean remembering to hit the switch as we are rated by ZeldaSpeedRuns 2. Hello and welcome.
Welcome. We got a NMG race about a little over halfway through here.
And a little bit of a, TLDR for anyone just joining. We actually had a very neck and neck race this whole time. Unfortunately, RadicalSniper took a death to Cold Stare, so he's significantly behind now. But up until Cold Stare, this was a very good race. It's still not over. There's still
there's still a lot that can happen here. We got some more bosses that things can go sideways.
And we'll see coming up as we come to the lobby here. There's the lobby in the next room. There's a lot of small micro movements you can make in this dungeon to make these screens significantly faster. The next screen you can hook dash, which will allow Sean to pick up the pot a little better. Very important arrow drop coming up as well as Jesse enters the lobby for the first time. And as we see here, Sean's already at 3 hearts, which
it's a little scary. There are some opportunities coming up here to refill, but 3 hearts is definitely a scary place to be.
I wouldn't even be surprised if he gets both sides of the safeties here. He doesn't have any bombs either. Looked like he was thinking about it.
Yeah, it technically doesn't need a bomb. You can get a bomb at the front of TR too. He already has Ice Rod.
Yeah, I was thinking though for Meyer, if you miss Spooky in a race setting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you miss Spooky and you don't have bombs, you're in a real rough spot.
All right. And we saw Sean attempt the quick kill. It's pretty challenging kill to learn. It's not impossible to learn, but very, very difficult to master.
Especially depending on the RNG you get, it can be easier or harder depending on how far down he decides to move on that first movement. It can be done either way, but it gets a lot more challenging when he comes further down faster. Yeah, I was seeing in chat asking what happened to the time difference. It was a cold stare death, unfortunately.
Now, as Jesse approaches the back half of Swamp Palace, we have Sean entering Misery Mire. Misery Mire is... I don't know how other people... I think this dungeon is relatively simple. There's a couple...
This is probably my favorite dungeon in the Dark World to do. It's just possible for it to be so consistent.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I believe it's one of the the first dungeons you get very consistent. Times aren't wildly swinging. Double fire rod. Now this switch room here is, I think, one of my most enjoyable rooms in Mire. It's such a weird room, but just the strat of slashing the guy, picking up the key, having the conveyor push you into the door. It's really satisfying.
Yeah.
Have another minor glitch where you can actually shoot the fire rod through the block as it's moving.
Flip, you're getting called out on shields in chat.
I'm having too busy I'm too busy laughing at this to know what to say. But I agree. I agree, Fox. I've not been roasting anybody. Although after a cold death, I don't know.
I mean, you can roast Sean. I'd feel bad roasting Jesse after a death like that. That's so rough. But
you know what? For someone who loves the bird toss, Sean didn't bird toss, did he?
I didn't see a bird toss, no.
Now, Sean unfortunately missed one of his fire rod shots here, so he'll have to do this final room the slow way. But thankfully, only missing one rod shot doesn't lose that much time.
It's a good thing he didn't miss two, because then he would have really been in trouble in that second room.
He also has a lot of health going into this fight, so I'm sure nothing will go wrong.
Nothing ever goes wrong in this fight. Sure tried to prove me wrong there, but
I think literally the second I said that, he walked into the eyeball.
he did. I was just like kind of holding my breath. It's like, oh no, I think you just calm cursed him.
Now, Jesse did make up some time in his Swamp Palace split, so hopefully he keeps the good vibes of Swamp Palace going. He can just keep making up time after.
The other thing to remember is Sean does not have a ferry coming up in Turtle Rock. That's still something that can come into play on this.
Yeah, one bad hop from a chain chomp. Trying to maybe not mirror out of the spike room and take an extra hit of damage, and
or slight mispositioning on a pokey. Get one of the rebound shots not dying like it's supposed to, and like it's you blink and you can have 4 to 6 hearts gone real quick. He's gonna have to play it pretty safe.
the bonk didn't work the first time, Sean. It wasn't going to work the second time.
Never know. Might get it to budge 1 pixel or something. It's worth a shot.
There's actually a trick where it's called the bubble dash. You walk to the left of the screen. There's like this nice little bubble visual cue. You can despawn them, or not despawn, but like reset them.
Jesse's having a bit of a fight here on Cold Stare too. Got away from both of them. Oh, okay. I was scared there for a minute at the end.
No spin speed short hop. Yeah. Now, Turtle Rock is one of those dungeons where I find it more so than GT, for me at least, but maybe maybe for other people it's GT, but Turtle Rock is one of those dungeons where you know what you're doing, but one or two things go wrong and you just start to bleed time all over the place.
Yeah, if you get off rhythm, it can definitely snowball here.
And then, like Kazan was saying about the fairy, since he despawned or he summoned the fairy in Skullwoods by mistake, saw him mirror out, just playing it safe here. Sean getting a nice chomps RNG. Jesse is making his way to Turtle Rock as well. Just picked up his ice room. Sean, unfortunately, having a little bit of trouble in this pokey. If you don't get a double spin on this guy, for some reason, something about like the way his damage table is, it just takes forever to kill that guy.
Yeah, they're really weird.
Being a bunny didn't help either.
No. That and the way their movement pattern is almost, well, probably is designed to make him just run away from you.
I see having a pretty clean Turtle Rock. And here we have my favorite room in Turtle Rock. What kind of pokies, 2 RNG are we going to get today? Oh, Pokey's in a fight. Oh, no. That is one of the worst RNGs you can get, but also one of the most fun. Get a double spin in the middle of the room.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah, usually you don't want to slash at those jellies for that very reason. They always electrocute right as you go for the slash. And next thing you know, you've lost a heart and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know you and Jesse were practicing this room. Is he going to go for the... Nice.
He is.
Very nicely.
Very nicely done.
I believe Sean was going to attempt to go for the fast strat there, but then said, I'm not dealing with that guy. Ooh, whoa, Sean, don't walk into those guys. You do, yeah. This fight is usually not too bad, but
It's just got scary real fast.
Yeah, walking into most parts of the body do 4 hearts of damage. I think it's like the foot and the head or something does less, but yeah, ideally.
I don't trust any part of him to not do 4. I know there are some, but I just assume if I take a hit, it's going to be 4 because it's not a gamble you want to take. Is it the shell only does 1?
What do we got on Jesse's side? Also, Pokey's in a fight. Oh my god, what is this? 2 Pokeys in a fight, RNGs. What is the world coming to?
And synced up blue ball RNG, synced up Pokies. It's like they're playing the same seed.
Might have even been the same player with the amount of times they were synced up. All right, so here we have the best segment in the whole game, Kaysen, right? GT.
Oh yeah. Segment you'll be working on forever.
Yeah, this is a section that people practice over and over, especially the gauntlet. A lot of technical rooms. Pretty much every room is like technical, where you can lose a full second. A lot of RNG reading.
What keys does Sean go for? Do you know?
Well, he skipped the pot key, so we'll be getting
one of the 2
Pre-Moldorn
upstairs.
Sean's making his way through GT. Jesse having a really nice Turtle Rock so far. Golded the dungeon.
With the roller room strat, it's a good, probably multiple second gold.
Sean unfortunately taking a hit. You like to have sword beams for the first room of the climb, but it's that is nice to have. Nice menu to the bombs. Read if you're on the right bomb pixel. Now he has to get these.
He's gonna need to get the chest arrows too.
I believe he gets the chest. I don't know which way he's gonna do it though. We're going for the. Yeah. Now we have a nice clean Armos fight over here. Oh, spoke too soon. But
You spoke because the last arrow was in the air.
the important part is that they did not convene to the center and then spread out again. So he will have the same fire bats for the Ganon that he's practiced a million times. Yeah, GT, it's very technical, but very, very, very satisfying when you get everything fine-tuned and nerves don't get to you and you just play the game.
Yep.
Sort out. As he makes his way to big. Walking out. No cannibals. He just safe. Struggling a little bit in that first room.
Arrow drop.
Yeah, don't blame him getting that heart and that arrow. A lot of nice small arrow strats you can do in the climb.
Yeah, there really is.
Oh, you gotta be careful. He's taking a lot of chip
is getting down there. It's not where you want to be.
Well, that's a cursed heart. Yeah, it is almost never worth.
Yeah, that BMOS looked like it bugged out because it stopped to shoot and it never did. Nerves might be getting to him a little bit.
Yeah, although Jesse's having a really good beginning of GT. No mishap so far. Very healthy arrow count.
That's enough arrows. You can probably skip the big key chest after the big key to get the arrows there.
All right.
Down to 9, might want to get him.
Will Sean go for the cursed pot in the torch room? But he does. That pot scares the heck out of me.
Especially if you don't wait for the jingle.
Yeah, I'm sure no one's thrown a PB pace run or jingle glitch recently. But oh wow,
I can't think of any time that's ever happened.
Sean is very dangerously low. There's no more safeties to be gotten.
This is 2 hearts until the pig is dead. There's nothing coming up. And I guess we could kill all these mini Helmas in here and maybe get a fairy. But that's not going to happen.
This is also one of the, actually probably the hardest boss fight in the game, Agatu.
Yeah.
Not hard to complete, but
hard to do fast.
And having low health, Sean's going to be worried about every single blue, like, I think the blue thing when it breaks does a half a heart of damage. He's probably more worried about not dying than actually completing this fight. It's a nice triple there.
I think that only counted as a double. Not sure.
Right. Although Jesse's making really nice work of this climb.
Yeah, he is. Making good work out of it and staying very healthy.
Now, I don't think Sean's got the race room up, but if he did, I wouldn't even be surprised if he just walks into the big, but he's going for it. That's full health. Wow. I don't think I've ever been this far in GT with full health.
I don't think I have either. Sean's through the worst of this fight. So hopefully it should be smooth sailing from here.
Yeah, I know he's been practicing the fire rod strat, but in a race, might just play it safe here. Maybe he'll decide on what kind of
especially
RNG
if he has the race room or a stream or anything open to know what's going on. I imagine you've got to play safe.
Not getting this a triple, but finishes it out. And Sean
Clutched out that in game.
Will be completing the seed with a not the seed, sorry. The run with a 42, 43, 42.
129.42 in the race room. See if we're gonna get him in here for an interview.
And we have Jesse finishing up the fight. Getting a nice 1-1. Ganon warping back and forth like way too many times.
Most warps I've seen in a while.
Come on, dude, just
We got a dead pig on Jesse's side. A final time of 1:32.14.
GG's. Looks like we have one of our runners in the waiting room.
Yeah. And we're joined by our winner of the race, secretlyasliver, Sean. GG.
GG.
So what were going through your head there towards the top of GT? That had to be nerve-wracking.
Yeah, hearing heartbeats in the gauntlet isn't exactly ideal, but it's why we practice, right?
Yeah. Just gotta take a deep breath and do the things you've practiced, and
Yep.
you did that quite well. But yeah, this was a very close race all the way up through Ice Palace. We're joined now by Radical Sniper Jesse. GG.
GG.
GG, Jesse.
GG.
Unfortunate death there in Ice Palace.
Story of my life.
You guys were, I don't know if you were watching the restream at all.
Oh, I had it up.
Yeah, you two were basically in lockstep almost the entire way to that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like you look at entering Aga Tower, or like entering Aga, same time. You look again after blind, same time. Mothula kill synced.
Yeah,
it
it
just
was.
synced the whole way.
It was like every moment. It was like he'd have a little bit better of this room. I'd have a little bit better there. His movement here was a little cleaner. I had a little bit nicer of a landmo. Like it was just so like back and forth the whole way. So
His real small swings too. Like
yeah,
it was so nice to watch. I know you give you props for finishing that out after a cold stare death of all things. That's rough.
I mean,
But
I'll put it this way. Cold stare cost me uh 2. Let's see. Wait, no, sorry. 3 minutes and 10 seconds. All told, 3 minutes 10 or so seconds. I was behind PB by 2:25. So I don't know. Kaze and you and I have talked about this. How much like it's if I just don't catastrophically combust somewhere in a dumb
yeah,
place.
you got a PB coming for sure.
Yeah. I mean, we were 50 seconds ahead entering Aga. So
Yeah, I mean, Colsair is just it's such an annoying boss. It takes so much work. There's so many small moving parts to it, and then you're in a race too. The second one thing goes wrong, you take one hit. It's a lot. It's a lot to process.
Yeah,
But you are so due.
I've actually been hitting the Ice Palace segment pretty hard, and ended up saving 13 seconds over PB. So that was fun.
Yeah, I saw it looked like you had a gold in Thieves Town as well.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't quite make out by how much, but
0.3. But you know what?
0.3.
You take
Okay.
those.
Yeah, no, I mean, a gold is a gold. It's best you've done it, and at least in your recorded splits. So that's always a good feeling to see that pop up.
Yeah, and then on Jesse's side for Thieves Town, he unfortunately took hits and I think one in the overworld, took 3 hits in the room after the big key got.
Overworld was clean. It was the Zyzak in right after the big key, and then we hit God Pixel, but Patrick got in the way.
Yeah, you hit the God
yeah,
Pixel. Patrick got in your way. You reset onto the God Pixel again, and then the other Patrick got in your way.
Yeah.
The game was just not having any of it.
Yeah, I'll take how the rest of the dungeon
you're just
went.
gonna pay for this attempt with a lot of hearts, and slow down.
You kept your cool. You only lost I think a couple seconds over your PB, 5, maybe a little more. So despite all that,
yeah, I want to say it was
really
like
nice.
8 seconds in Thieves, which fine. I'll take the little improvements in TR. Well, I think we had a baby gold there in the dungeon, and that was with falling in the hub. So, that's just my goal is steal a strat, add a strat every time. I don't think I'm gonna get any help there for next week though at this point. Right, Kayston?
I mean, I got some strats I could teach you for escape. They're pretty cool.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How much time do they save? Negative
about
2.5 minutes?
About 2.5 minutes for your opponent.
And if you want to learn any new pod routing, you just hit me up. But also, Sean, I thought you're an avid fan of the bird toss. What happened today?
I missed the dash to go up. I was so sad.
Oh. And then I might have given you a little bit of a caster's curse. I was like, Sean, he has a lot of health. I'm sure nothing will go wrong in this fight. And the second I said that, you walked into an eyeball.
I didn't walk down a tile before the second spin on Vidi, so there was a good amount of flailing in that fight, but
Yeah, that was a little scary to watch. Like on one hand, like if something went wrong there, this becomes a neck and neck race again. Because I think
yeah,
those two deaths time wise would be pretty equal, and I think you two would have been neck and neck. But you never want to see that happen at the same time. So I'm glad you're able to muscle through that.
yeah. Miner's another one. Like I've lost several PB pace runs to Vitreous, and I've just been working on like cleaner movement in the dungeon so I don't get hit and go into Vitreous with low hearts. Unfortunately, I just didn't press a button right, but I think I recovered it fairly well. I did have an extra arrow drop that I could play with, so that was nice for recovery.
Yeah, and any Vitreous fight you walk away from without dying is acceptable. It's doesn't matter how long the fight takes, it's going to be faster than having to go back down through there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and on Jesse's side, he also got hit, I believe, in the Vidi fight. Up until the fight, I think he was gaining time on the dungeon, and
Yeah, that was a rough end of Vidi. Oof. We went in with 10 hearts, and that should be more than enough. And yeah,
Yeah, yours got a little away, but if you watch this back, Jesse, Sean's got even more away because it happened earlier in the fight than what happened to you. But overall, you both walked out of the fight alive, and that is the main thing.
Then I immediately got dead rocked.
I mean, dead rocks are going to do that. It's kind of what they're for.
I will say too, Jesse had a really good climb. I don't think I've ever had full health going to like the torches. You had full health at the top. I was just like,
I don't
wow.
know how that's possible.
Yeah, in the first room I lost 2 hearts. And then Mimics 2, we actually got a heart off of one of the Mimics. And then I want to say Zyzak in the Gauntlet dropped a heart that I just happened to walk over, and we were at full health.
It just all added up and got you back to full.
Yeah, that's not exactly something I'm looking for to have happen, but I'm not going to complain about full health as long as I don't need sword beams for anything.
I'll say GG again to both of you. It was a good runs, good race. I don't know if either of you have any last final comments.
Thanks for signing up, guys. Hayes and I look forward to our match next week now, I guess. Guaranteed.
Yeah, I think it is guaranteed. So
Yeah. GG, Sean. It was fun.
Yeah, GG. Do it again sometime.
Yep.
and I don't know that we know who your opponent is going to be, but good luck either way.
Yeah, I just want to say again, fantastic race. The cold stare was unfortunate, but there's a lot of good in it, and I didn't do my part of roasting you two enough. I'll try to work on that for next time.
Me and sign up to do that to Case tonight. That's going to be greatly, hilariously bad. Maybe pull in Leo, and she'll equally love doing that.
Oh, okay. I can get on board with that. She'll have no problems roasting you too.
No, none.
No, none whatsoever.
It's one of her favorite hobbies when we run.
Sorry, guys. Coughing fit. Forgot. I unmuted myself. But GG's once again to Jesse and Sean here. Great race from you both, and good luck in the next round. Thank you to Flipbeal and Kason for doing our commentary tonight. Let's see. So please give them all a follow, putting links there in the chat. Also to everyone in chat for watching. Coming up ahead on the CSR schedule, we've got a lot of stuff going on. I believe we have about 6 or 7 separate active turnings going on currently on CSR, including coming up in just about 15 minutes. We've got another link to the Fast NMG match. That'll be out of the Eastern Palace division between the Eastern Palace division between Shimo and PH. So we'll be, I think, actually heading over to CSR main here just shortly. Tomorrow we've got a couple matches. We've got the Twilight Princess Lava Dash Score on Men's RTA Tournament, Redemption semifinals between the Ethernet Boys and Simikins. Got a Knockout of Time Randomizer Season 6 match with Nixus and Seize. A rematch, actually, from last year's Max Stranded finals of the ZTR Max Stranded tourney, Celestian Street. And another NMG, that'll be a double feature at 10 p.m. Eastern round between Windfox and Power to Mario. And then a Flip Yell here versus Chuck Human. Should be a good pair of should be some fun matches there, with more matches coming up over the weekend. If you want stuff to catch, there's plenty to be had on all the CSI channels. ZeldaSpeedRuns main, ZeldaSpeedRuns 2, ZeldaSpeedRuns_3, and here at ZeldaSpeedRuns_4. But that shall be it for us tonight. Thank you for watching all, and we'll see you around.